Hi, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Coffee and Conversation right here on Yachting International Radio. My name is Ria. I am your host, and today I have a guest, James Patterson. You are from the Rib Club here in Mallorca. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Nice to see you, Ria.
Yeah, well, the reason that I got a hold of you was that I have shared a story that was in Rob Report the other day. They were talking about memberships in boat clubs. Now, in the States, there are quite a few different companies that do this sort of thing, and they have everything from, a small tender all the way up to super yachts. And it seems to be the wave of the future. People aren't wanting to go into boat ownership. They're not wanting to go into the headaches of, refits and fixing things and the maintenance and the insurance, et cetera, but they still want to be on the water. So I wanted to talk to somebody who actually owned something similar in the Mediterranean. And of course, you are everywhere. So the automatic contact was James from the Rib Club.
Yes.
So before we get into it, though, I want to know a little bit about you. Where are you from originally?
Okay, so I'm from the UK, just outside London, and I was in investment banking for 12 years of my life, which was very high pressure. It was during good times, between the beginning of the 2000s. But it got to a point in life where I was looking around the room at various colleagues and friends of mine, and I thought, do I want to be doing this for the rest of my life? 6 in the morning starts, 3 in the morning finishes. Money can be useful, but it shouldn't rule people's lives. And because of that, I thought if I don't get out now, I probably never will. So at the age of the mighty old 35, I stopped banking and I moved with my family to Menorca, where we had a family home. And even though I was still doing some trading myself and some private investments, I became bored very easy. I'm not someone to sit on a sunbed and read books, certainly not. So I started up Rib Club as a hobby. I did have a big boat at the time, a bigger boat, and I also had a rib. But we always found every trip out with me and my 2 boys and my wife that we'd always take the rib. It was less hassle. You can jump on them, go out to where you go anyway, wherever you are, whether it's Mallorca, Menorca, Ibiza, or anywhere in the south of France. Everyone still has their favourite spots, their favourite colours. So we used to jump on the rib, and the big boat wasn't getting used. So when it came to finally be able to sell that, I understood what people meant when they say the best 2 days of your life with a boat are the day you buy it and the day you sell it. So we sold that, and I still had the rib, and I used to use the rib every other day, especially in the summer, but even in the winter, ribs are great because the sea's a lot calmer and you don't have the crowds, which obviously is a topic of conversation we'll go into later, I'm sure. But I did realise quite a few of my friends were asking to use my boat in the winter months because theirs was out of the water. And then I realised a few of them weren't even putting their boats in the water in the summer and just using mine. So I thought, hang on a minute, there might be a business here. It kept me busy. I used to run it myself from Menorca. We had 2 boats. I used to do everything from the ground up, the cleaning, the meeting the guests, which is what I love to do. Everything really, and it kept me busy. It was more of a hobby in those days. But then we got to a point where, I'd filled Menorca, and I'd always heard of this big island. It's called Mallorca. I'd never really gone there. We're always the baby sister Menorca. And I thought, you know what, let's give it a try. I went over, I did have some family who had a villa in Poyensa. So I had been here, but I'd never done any business or any sort of commercial activity here. And yes, it was a lot bigger, a lot more scary. I was told, try and do it this way, try and do it that way. But I still felt I wanted to follow my passion because that's what the club started out as, and that's what I wanted to continue. I didn't want it to be a corporate entity. I wanted it to revolve around the members and grow with the members. That was the whole point about leaving my grand old job of getting up at all sorts of hours and, things like that. So we started off in Calanova with 4 boats. That was in 2014. So Rib Club's been going 10 years. in 2014, we started off in Calanova, and we had 4 boats, and it gained traction straight away, you know, especially with, as you can imagine, ex-boat owners. You know, I've always been in sales in my life, and for once I used to be told I don't need to sell, which was great. You know, the minute that I started to speak to people, they'd say, no, I get it, you don't have to sell it to me. I'm like, hang on. They said, no, where do I sign? Because so many people over the years have tried to own a boat, and everyone, don't get me wrong, we all love boating, but the responsibility and the cost that comes with it, because however many times we think we're going to use them, we never use them that many times. And so it picked up quite quickly in 2014. And then I had a mooring problem. I'm sure anyone who knows boats knows that moorings are very expensive, but also they're very hard to come by. And I was told by Calanova at the time, sorry, James, you can't have any more moorings. And I was like, what am I going to do? I'm here, I'm ready. You know, we filled 4 boats, and I went and reluctantly looked for other moorings in other ports. And Club de Mar was my first. But I thought, well, the members aren't going to want to go from different ports, etc. I mean, I was happy to deal with the logistics because I enjoy doing what I'm doing. But suddenly I realised that it was actually one of my biggest selling points, because as members used to say, you know, nowhere else can I feel that it's my own boat, but go from different ports. So I've rapidly grabbed hold of this, and we put some boats in Poyensa, and also down in Andrach the following year. This is 2016 we're in now. And before I knew it, we'd had boats in where we have them now. Our solid locations are Andrach, Santa Ponza, Port Al's, Club de Mar in Palma, and Poyensa. And the members, I mean, I find now, even when they say to me, no, James, I'm joining because I can see the Port Al's boat from my balcony and that's my boat, within a couple of weeks, maximum, they are all saying, James, you know what? I've never been up to Poyensa boating before. What's it like? You know, I might take the drive up there. And the flexibility you get with us having boats in different ports is amazing. And I see every single member not really focusing on one area. A lot of them going up to Poyensa, even though it's a 40-minute drive up there. You can be from the marina to Formentor in 5 minutes, and we all know how beautiful Formentor is. So that was I fell into it by accident, but it became a big part of Rib Club, be able to take your boat wherever you go. Obviously, at the time, I was also saying to members, trying to promote members to go over to Menorca, where we'd originally had our first 2 boats, and we'd also in 2018 opened up in Ibiza. So as I was doing on my very few days off I get in the summer, was taking a flight. You know, I live just outside Palma, and I was taking a 8:30 flight in the morning over to Ibiza. You know, only a few euros because the inter-island flights are cheap. Being able to jump on a boat within an hour and a half of leaving home almost, going over to Formentera, having the day there, coming back, getting a taxi back to the airport and being back in Mallorca about 9, 10 at night. And again, the flexibility of members, all our boats are the same, we'll go into that, I'm sure, but whenever I want, and we make it very clear to members that we want them to treat it as their own boat. And that is really what Rib Club's about. You know, we are a family, and when it comes to events, people know each other, and again, it's been great for referrals. You know, we have most of the members we take on now are a friend of a friend, or as you kindly say, people have heard of us from me annoying them on social media, which we love to do. So.
Well, I mean, and that was a question I was going to ask you. I mean, you got ribs in Mallorca, Menorca, Costa Brava, the French Riviera, and Ibiza. So if you are a member of the Rib Club, no matter where your base is, if you decide that you're going to go to the French Riviera, for example, for a week's vacation, your membership allows you to access boats in that area as well?
Yes, it does. So our memberships are based on unlimited use. We've tried all sorts of different stages of buying block days, but was it 3-4 years ago, I downsized from the amount of members because the club aspect was really me servicing the right amount of people, and we got to a size where I didn't feel I was giving the attention I wanted to give as though I was a member of the club to the members. So we reduced it to a maximum of 10 members per boat before we get a new boat, which gave me and the team the flexibility to be able to really service each member again as though it was their own boat and look after their needs so they could have the best experience as possible. And to be able to do this, we made it just an unlimited membership. So it's all done through an app. It's very simple. Again, if anyone's like me, they don't like to have to think too much. So all the days are booked through an app. You get a maximum amount of forward bookings at any one time, which is 4. And then you can have as many spontaneous bookings, we call them, which is within 72 hours notice as you like. So it means you can wake up in the morning, see which boats are available, go down, off you go for your day. Or if you have special occasions, family over, your neighbour's knocking on your door because he wants to have a go on your boat, which we know happens a lot, you know, you can really plan those days ahead. So within the membership, yes, we have a flagship location, which is, for example, I would be based, or you would be based, I think, in Mallorca. and then we have, then the other branches are there. So we do ask members to forward plan with their obviously they have to, so we can make sure the members, existing members in the specific locations are getting their usage as well. But originally, the company, the holding company is called Rib Club Global, and the idea is so people don't actually have to own a second property, and they can choose where they go on holiday around where we have locations. And that's been a big thing. And I've had so many very grateful members for me persuading them to go over to Mallorca, Menorca, Costa Brava, or even the south of France just for a long weekend. Within your membership, you do get a concierge service as well that we have. We have a concierge team looking after you. So that can be from booking a restaurant at your favourite beach club that most of the time we have a relationship with. So you get special treatment. Our members aren't really into discounts, and we're certainly not into collecting commission. But what we do ask is for the beach clubs, the restaurants, to make sure our Rib Club members are looked after. And that's what we're about. So we'll organise the hotels. You know, we usually ask them to organise their own flights. But, you know, from the minute you're off the plane, you know, we're there to look after you and make sure those days out are really good. And we've had, I think last year was the first year we were in the south of France. I think we had 20 of our 150 members go over, and just for a weekend. But, you know, we all know how lovely it is, especially if you're an experienced boater or a novice, to test those other waters in different areas. I need to do it. I haven't done it yet, I'll be honest.
Well, let me ask you, you know, with the situation that we have just gone through over the past 2 months, one thing that came up in the Rob report was, as I mentioned earlier, people are looking at summer vacation, you know, straight across the face of the planet. A lot of summer schools are being canceled. It's not, you know, an option. A lot of people don't want to get on an airplane. And as well, they don't want to go to a beach because right now the beaches are looking pretty darn packed, and social distancing isn't really an option when you get onto a beach that is fairly small and everyone's trying to cram in like a can of sardines. So have you seen an increase in people wanting to purchase memberships because they do want to get away, they do want to have a summer vacation, but it's more of a staycation than going elsewhere?
Yes, I mean, we've got we have in using Mallorca as an example, we have a 50%, almost 50% of our members are residents on the island, and 50% are mainly German, English, and Scandinavians who have holiday homes here, but spend less than 6 months a year. They, from the minute lockdown started, were asking me ways of being able to get back on the island because they'd rather be in lockdown here than in various countries, for example, UK. But we've seen, we have, and we're very fortunate, and I'm very grateful to, you know, considering what a bad time it's been for everyone, to have seen an uptick in interest in what we do. I mean, we did have a slogan changed, hashtag stay on your boat, because we were also praised from one of the government bodies here for what we do, and it helped promote social distancing in the correct manner. And so we've been doing that, you know. For starters, we did a campaign, I'm not sure if you saw it, for nominate a key worker. So, you know, once a lot of these frontline great people who've been doing such tremendous jobs, can go out once it's all died down a bit and we're allowed out with a friend in a manner that they can enjoy, but also keep their distance from other people, because it has become the new norm. And with the members existing and also new members coming in, one of the questions that we cover, whether it's they promote it or we tell them, that we are there to make sure the safety, obviously, which is always important, but also the hygiene and the health. So we did have guidelines from the government how to do this, and all of our boats are, we call it disinfecting each day. They were cleaned every day anyway. That's, again, a beauty of club ownership, club membership instead of boat ownership. But we use a special source of alcohol all over the boat that disinfects. We have so it's something we were doing anyway, because we've got, I wouldn't say elderly because they'll slap me in the face for that, but we've got some middle-aged members, and they really don't want to get ill. You know, they're at a stage in their life where they are here to enjoy themselves, and you know, it's been terrible for so many people. So I've really wanted to put their minds at ease that the boats are completely disinfected, clean, ready for them to go out, and then they can go out with their close friends, people who live under their roof, or extended family that they feel comfortable with, and go and sit in a cala away from the crowds, as we say, because obviously, you know, as people start arriving, and I've seen lately, you know, the beaches are getting very busy again, which, you know, people do, and we can't blame them for wanting to go out and start to enjoy the summer that has come upon us. You know, I do remember last time I was away, I was skiing, and suddenly 3 months has gone away. But no, it's important to us, and as I say, it's something that's been promoted by all parties of the government to be able to do. And for that reason, I think, yeah, it is a good option. It's an entry level for people who haven't been boating before, or obviously people who have owned boats before, that, you know, they know the cost. You know, for unlimited use on ribs, it's €6,500 a year. Our average use is 22 times a year, but we have some lucky members who don't have to work as hard as us, who are going out up to 40 times a year. You know, so we do feel it's good value, but it's not. We're not trying to be cheap. You know, the service we offer is a lifestyle luxury club, but you know, my idea as principal in all this is making sure the member comes back the following year and rejoins. You know, as I say, we're building a club.
So is there one membership fee? There's just a straight flat fee straight across the board, or is there different memberships that you can buy?
Yeah, no, we have a one membership. It's called Unlimited, Rib Club Unlimited. It gives you those obviously unlimited days throughout the Med, wherever we have. We do have a bigger package that incorporates use of a motor yacht and jet skis as well. But you know, I'm not someone who likes to take money off people, so I suggest to them that once they do want the big yacht or the jet skis, I can sort that out for them. It's not something that's built into our revenue anyway. It's me passing the cost. We have come up with we've actually called it the COVID package internally, and it's because we've had so many inquiries from potential members who haven't got boating experience. Obviously, we offer the PB2, the RYA PB2 course, which licenses people up to 10-metre powerboats with unlimited horsepower. That course we get covered in 2 days. But at the same time, you know, the sea is, and it should be, respected by everyone, especially a lot of our members who are coming in this year who haven't got the experience. So we split up the package, and we've changed it into 5 days out, which members pay around €3,000. And once they've done those 5 days, they can then have the option to turn it into an unlimited package for the balance. And I think that was just, again, it came up because someone asked me. It's not something we really promote, you know, through our digital channels. But I didn't feel comfortable taking £6,500 off someone, not knowing if they were going to enjoy it or not. Because, as I say, it's for 90% of the world, but it's not necessarily for everyone. And as I say, a membership lasts for a year. So it kind of gave them an entry into Rib Club. They can see what we're about. They can come to some of our events we have monthly, meet some other members. And I have to say, I've done, since the 11th of May, when we were allowed to use the boats again, I've done 6 of those, and they've all asked to upgrade early, which is really nice and a great testament to us. So, or the team, I should say.
Yes. Well, so if somebody wants to, what is the smallest size boat that they can take out, and what is the largest size boat?
9 meter. So we have basically, again, over the years, I've tested all sorts of makes, all sorts of different size boats. And we have stuck now to a 9 meter rib with a 240 horsepower engine on the back. When members come down, it's a nice surprise for them, but this is new members, because they say to me, that's big. And yes, it is quite big, but it also is very, very good on the water. As I say, most charter boats I've tried in the past, I'll be honest, have been more 6, 7, 8 meter, and they aren't as secure and stable in the sea as 9 meter plus. We want to keep under the 10 meter, again, for the licensing purposes, because, as I say, we're there to get people on the water as soon as possible. I mean, we had someone join on Monday, it's Wednesday today, I'm terrible with dates at the moment, on Monday, and they started their course yesterday, they're finished today, and they'll be out on the water tomorrow. And so 9 meters seem the perfect size. We've also managed to incorporate, because we designed the ribs ourselves, they have a freshwater shower, they have a sunbed that comes up as a table that seats 8 for lunch, that has an electric fridge, it has a binomy that goes all over the back for the shade while you're having lunch, it has Bluetooth stereo, it has a toilet on board, it has an electric toilet as well, because again, we wanted, even before the times we're in now, we wanted members to be able to feel they can go out for a full day and not have to go ashore if they didn't want to, you know, and that's even more, you know, it's very apt now. So everything is on the boat that you'd need, that you can leave at 10 in the morning or whatever time you like, spend the whole day there, the whole evening. We ask boats to be back at sunset, but not have to leave the boat. And again, you know, that has fitted in well with what people are looking for at the moment, especially with social distancing and wanting to spend more quality time as families together. So, and again, back to the 9 meter, the reason we chose this one model is whether you're in Mallorca or you go to the south of France, you feel like it's your own boat, which I said earlier. So you can jump on. Yes, there is through the app an option to meet the team, but once members are happy and comfortable, they usually, especially if you've got families, you know, saying you're going to be somewhere at 10 o'clock usually means 12 o'clock, and you don't want to feel under pressure that you've got to go to the boat for that 10 o'clock meeting. So that works really well.
In the future, do you see yourselves moving towards what the model that they are doing in the States, however, in regards to a larger yacht that does come with crew, and offering those type of memberships for those people that are ultra high net worth individuals that don't necessarily want to charter, they don't want to plan in advance, they want to have that ability, but they don't want to have the headaches of owning their own motor yacht, you know, not super yacht status, but status where they do have a captain and they do have a chef, that sort of idea?
Okay, well, we are. It was supposed to happen this year. The boat's almost paid for. I'll be honest with you, on a 12 meter rib. It was going to be delivered in June, and based the first one, it was a pilot one in Port Owls, because I didn't know, excuse me, how I was going to price this thing. So, I mean, you know, the jump up in price of these boats, the boats that we have are around 100 grand. When you go into a 12 meter twin engine with full kitchen and full bathroom, they're about €250,000. So we purchased one. Unfortunately, again, due to the environment, the shipyard had to obviously shut, so it's not going to be delivered for June as promised. But that has already grabbed a great interest with a lot of our members, not for everyday use, because Rib Club is about days out. It's not about sleeping on. You know, you see most boats in any colour, even if they're 20 metre, they're still used as a day boat. And a lot of our members have come from 20 metre plus boats, know they're only going to use them for the day, so a rib does the job. But then if you do want to go further, a 12 metre, again with twin engines, with an outdoor kitchen, it's got an outdoor barbecue, it's got a full kitchen basically, all outdoors, a full bathroom incorporated. Yes, there is, I feel, a demand for that, and that's why we stepped into it. Anything bigger than that, we have, as I say, we have our motor yacht partners that will provide as many boats as I want, because a lot of these owners who usually own these boats, they want them being used because they're not using them themselves. And so we do sort that out, and I do it numerous, whether it's a sailboat, but as an actual model of our business, I'd rather concentrate on what we're doing, because I think we're doing it well. We're making a lot of people happy, and I want to concentrate. You know, if something works, don't fix it. So anything bigger, we do outsource to other partners of ours, apart from the 12-metre rib, which should be here soon. And I will invite you out on her to test her with me.
Excellent, I'm in. So where do you see yourself going next? I mean, you do have these areas, once again, just for the audience, you are available in Mallorca, Menorca, Costa Brava, French Riviera, and Ibiza. Are you going to expand beyond those areas?
Yes, we had. I already have. I got very excited one year. I think it was 2017, and I opened up in Cape Town in South Africa, and also, yeah, you'll look then, and also in Antigua the same year. And from a local point of view, it went really well. I mean, it meant. I mean, Cape Town's my favourite city, hence the reason there. And Antigua's, you know, it's you relate yachting with Antigua. So it was going very well. But I'll be honest, I am still at a stage where I like to treat all our members personally. We don't want to be too big. We are a very personal club, and I couldn't do that logistically, be there all the time at the time from being in Mallorca. So don't get me wrong, I love to go to Antigua. However, I couldn't be going there for a few days. You know, I'd like to, when I'm not in Mallorca, I like to go and see my family, my two kids that live in the UK. So I ended up closing that after a year and concentrating on Europe. Hence we opened up in Costa Brava, because I can be in Europe wherever I want, or I could be, and hopefully I will be soon again. So the idea is to do the south of France coast. At the moment we're in Antibes. We've already got a lot of demand and some members from Cap d'Aille, Monaco area. And then we're going to have 5 locations along that French Riviera down to Saint-Tropez. And that will be a hub of Rib Club. You know, this product has done brilliantly, and we've only been a year in south of France. Again, they understand, they've got some beautiful areas to go boating. There's plenty of flights, you know, usually, again, I should stop saying that. So, and it's easy for people to swing and commute whenever they want to their holiday homes or some lovely boutique hotels. Costa Brava again, I mean, I only clicked, we started Costa Brava up this year, and I clicked, it's really it's a sister again of the islands, you know, Barcelona is a big hub. So we're putting a boat in Barcelona in October. We already have a boat in Palamos, which is 40 minutes above Barcelona. And we're going to grow the coastline there down to Stitches, which again, I've had quite a bit of demand. Beyond that, for next year, you know, again, slowly, poco a poco, as they say in Spanish. We have demand to open in Marbella area. And I'm also looking at Greece as an area. Yeah. But it's a case of not running before you can walk. I say I've already made that mistake. And concentrating on the members we have, and that's we've still got demand in Mallorca. As I say, I had 4 boats to be delivered in Mallorca for this year, but again, that's only 2 now. So you know, I just want to concentrate on the members we've got. As I say, we have including the ones who hopefully will be arriving soon, around 70 in Mallorca. Ibiza's growing very nicely. I've done actually a deal with a property developer in Ibiza they're actually giving away a membership to each property they sell on a new development, and that's 63 memberships in Ibiza for 2022. So, you know, But as we always say, if you're going to buy an apartment on one of the islands, you need to have access to the sea. So hopefully we're going to be offering that, and it's a great collaboration. But I think when it comes to broader than Europe, I think it will be more of an agency will do, with someone who already has the infrastructure in place to take our model. And through the app and the developing we've done, yes, we are very scalable. We can mirror our product wherever we are, but I'm just not ready there to let go. It's my fourth child rib club. You know, I've got my 3 beautiful babies, but rib club's my fourth. So I'm holding on to it, and it's working very well for us.
Well, it's really exciting to see because, people do want to be out on the water. They do want to enjoy, they do want to have the ability, but boat ownership isn't for everybody. I mean, for example, if you live in an apartment, and when you're talking about places like Mallorca and pretty much straight across the board in Europe, a lot of people do live in apartments. Where are you going to keep your boat? In Canada, for example, I mean, it's very easy. You can go out and get yourself a boat and park it in your backyard. You don't have to worry about paying fees or whatever else. You just take it out of the water. When you go back to the water, you take it with you. That's not possible here in the majority of cases.
Sorry to interrupt you. Even if you are lucky enough to get a mooring, I'm paying per mooring for a 10-meter mooring here. I'm paying €10,000 a year.
Yeah.
Just for the mooring. So you're looking at the 100 grand for the boat, and then on our boats, before any of our members step on them, it costs €15,000 a year just in upkeep. And so if you're a family or you're a private owner, and you're using it, the average use I think is 30 engine hours a year. So you're using it 10 times a year. Do the maths.
Well, and on top of that, there's things to consider, insurance, maintenance. There's so many things that go into it. Yeah.
That's before it goes wrong.
Yeah, true enough. I've never owned a boat, but my father owned plenty, and I'll tell you, the amount of money that just kind of went poof when that boat went out. Mind you, he didn't actually take the test in order to be a captain, and he had a 32-foot bayliner. And so every time that he came into the harbor, it was kind of like driving skills in Mallorca. It was more of a hit to pass idea. So every single time he came back into harbor after taking the boat out every weekend, he would either hit the dock or hit another boat on the dock. So
that's the
costs
good
went
thing.
up, and so
That's
did
the
insurance.
good thing with ribs, they bounce.
Yes. But anybody that is on your rib, they have to take a course, and they have to have their tickets.
Yes, so as I say, there's the PB2, which can be turned into an international certificate of competence by the RYA. That is recognised in Spain. It's even recognised for Spanish to take it as well. There's a treaty going on. It's a 2-day course. It's great fun. Theory comes in between, but it's all about the safety measures. Our boats, they're not for going to different islands or, nobody's trying to be Captain Cook here. They're literally to go to a bay an hour away, plus further than an hour. I'll be suggesting members take one of the boats closer to where they want to go. It's all about the safety of the guests, is what I tell people, and safety of themselves, and that's what the course really shows. And also keep calm. We've got members who've been boating for 30 years, and we've got members who, as I said, did the course yesterday. I would rather at the moment go on the course with the members who did the course yesterday. It's that good a course. And we do refreshers, so every year we do take our members out, however experienced they are, for an hour, just so they can make sure they've got the confidence, so their guests in turn can enjoy it and not be nervous.
Well, you know what? It sounds like a great concept, and I see it's taking on, gangbusters straight across the face of the planet. And I would really encourage people in this coming summer as well, just because of what we've seen in the past few months and the fact that people are very nervous about flying. We're seeing that cruise ships, I'm not sure a lot of people are going to be investing in going on a cruise ship anytime soon either. So, the amount of money that you would save by buying a membership of this sort, somebody else is looking after all the details. Your kids aren't able to go to summer school, or they aren't able to take whatever classes that you would have had them in this summer. What a great idea to get a membership and to be able to take them out with their friends. away from the crowded beaches, because once the tourists start coming, if we see already in the majority of the places that you service, we already see with
Beach
locals.
packed, yeah. I mean,
And
as I
that's just
say, I
locals.
mean, all I say to new members coming in is please use their membership. I mean, the availability is there, as I mentioned. We limit it to 10 members a boat, which we know is the perfect number, so people can get a boat the following day. You know, they do use it, and then to use it. And once they use it, you know, they rejoin, and that's my goal, you know.
Well, that's amazing. What we're going to do is make sure that we have all of your details underneath this interview in case anybody is interested after watching to get a membership as part of it. And once again, for everybody out there, it is available in Mallorca, Menorca, Costa Brava, French Riviera, and Ibiza. So if you are wanting to stay close to Europe, but still want to have access to a boat, it is there and the availability is there. And it just sounds like a great idea. So thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been lovely talking to you. And see
You
you on the
as
boat.
well.
See you on the
Yeah,
boat.
I was gonna say, I'm not letting you off the hook
You're
on that
done.
one. The offer's there. You know what? Everyone's seen it now. So
Look forward to it. Okay, take care.
excellent. Once again, this has been James Patterson from the Rib Club here in Mallorca. You have been watching another episode of Coffee and Conversation. My name is Ria. I have been your host. We'll see you again the next episode.